Kansas City, we have a mental health crisis and it's time to address it. It is time to make change. At Elevating Men, we believe that everything we see outside of us comes from inside of us. It all begins in the mind. It all starts with mental health. The crime, violence, death, and poverty that we see in our community and neighborhoods is a direct reflection of the mental health of our people. We often limit mental health issues and the need for mental health services such as therapy to those who are homeless or addicted to drugs. We focus on the extremes. But mental health is important for all of us to focus on, and at any point in time, we all can face a mental health crisis. The single mother who is trying her best to raise her children, that sits on the edge of her bed before work wondering if she's doing good enough or if she should just give up. The father who is working all the hours he can to make ends meet, but the ends still aren't meeting. The grandparent who's raising their grandchildren because they lost their child due to senseless gun violence. The member of law enforcement, the firefighter, the EMT professional, the nurse who sees so much on a daily basis that they can't even sleep at night. Our children who go to school daily wondering if they'll be bullied. The teachers who have a heart for our kids who don't have enough. They need help too. We all need help with our mental health. Let's talk about it.
Last week on Elevating Men.
But why am I not settled? Why am I so unsettled within my mind, within my body, within my spirit? Why? What is my why? What do I want? What do I want to be? And I'm still trying to figure that out at this age, in the gray age. Or maybe I am tired of settling. Maybe I've settled so much in my life that I'm restless. And I'm now looking at the clock or the glass as half empty. And there's so much that I want to still do. And I don't want to settle down anymore. But the biggest part of that is I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to be. And that is why I am so unsettled in my spirit.
Let's get this conversation started. So you saw the clip from last week. If you didn't get to see the full show, you can go to Elevating Men at YouTube. You can also go to our Facebook page at Elevating Men. What we've been talking about is settling. And so this was the conversation that was brought up last week. We talked about, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing that people don't want to settle? There's a couple different interpretations of the word settle. The one that we were going with last week is really to take root, to be able to build a foundation and to be able to grow. And so when we look at our community, when we look at mental health, we always say that, oh, there's all these single parent homes. But is it because we aren't willing to settle into a relationship, commit, and grow and build something as a family? So we're going to talk about all that. But before we get into it, I got to introduce my brothers real quick and we'll hop right into the conversation. We got AB, Dinner and Dialogue. I know you see him on the show every week. He's always dropping some knowledge bombs on us. Below him, we got Coach G. Now you've seen him a couple times, always got great perspective. And below me, we got Big Unk. And so, man, let's just hop into it. Settling. Specifically when it comes to relationships. Marcus, you weren't with us last time. I don't know if you got to catch up on the conversation, but if not, what are your initial thoughts when you hear the word settle in relationships?
Worse than the Plan B pill. Believe that settling is exactly what it is. Man, I don't know if I want to start there already, but almost every man that's in a relationship has settled. And I think a lot of times that women and men don't like to admit it, but that woman is not the one he chose, the one that he would have wanted. That woman is the one that he settled for.
Now, is that a bad thing? So you said that, the woman he chose is not the one that he wanted, but he settled. Is that bad? Is it a negative thing?
So if growing up if you wanted Keisha and you like how Keisha looked, you like how Keisha smelled, you like how she moved, but you just was not Keisha's type, or you didn't have the things that it took to obtain Keisha. So instead, you got LaMonica. Now LaMonica, she a cool chick. She ain't ugly, but she just ain't Keisha. Now everything that you produce out of LaMonica, it's the same things you would have wanted out of Keisha, but it's just not the same. And a lot of times men don't like admitting it, but then there's also the thing where a lot of men don't even go after the thing that they really want because they're defeated up here before they even get to the plate.
So devil's advocate, could it be that over time maturity allowed you to see that maybe the one that you wanted wasn't the one that was best for you?
Well, we talking about settling, so nah, you ain't gonna see that because you're always in the back of your mind. You be cuddled up with your wife right now, watching y'all's TV show or whatever, just doing a family thing, and you like, she still ain't Keisha.
Man,
and you would never know what it would have been like.
Hold up, man. Hold on. Flag on the play, bro. Flag on. Listen, ladies, if you're watching this right now, if there are any women who are watching this right now, is this brother right? Do you believe that that's true? That he's laying next to you and he's like, man, but Keisha back in the day.
Hold on, did he?
And if so, yeah, I know he ran off the screen, but if so, man, what type of problems does that create? And ladies, is that happening to you as well? Are you laying next to Rick thinking about Bobby? Like, what's going on? What's really going on? Coach G, I saw you cover your face a couple times, so there was something you had to say. What's up? Talk to us.
A big my dude, man. I don't know if I agree with that though. I think to your point, Andrew, I mean, I just feel like as we evolve, things that maybe we thought were important before change. We change, our desires change, our thoughts change, our feelings change. Things that we feel like we needed before, we don't maybe need now. I know at 53, things I wanted as a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, I don't want now. I mean, I want peace. I want alignment. I want, real love. Some of the other things I chased before just aren't important anymore.
So for those of you that are tuning in, please share this with your network because we need more people in on this conversation. This is good. Quick couple shout outs. We got HM K Marie, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you. Shao76, she's joining us from YouTube. Oh, and also for those of you who don't know, we got a big announcement for Elevating Men. Not only can you see us here on Facebook and on YouTube like you have been for the last few years, but now we have a partnership with Pod TV. And so on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can catch us out on Roku. So you can pull up your Fire Stick, pull up Pod TV. You can catch Elevating Men live Saturday at 3 p.m. You can also see us on Amazon Fire. You can also see us on Twitch. You can also see us on Twitter. We are expanding. And so we thank you for taking this journey with us. But let's talk about settling. We got a comment from Jennifer Amayo. If you are still thinking about her, then you have not grown as a man. Have you not changed or grown? Marcus, have you not changed or grown?
Okay.
You're still thinking about big booty Keisha from high school.
So
you in a relationship. What's up?
So my mama was awesome. She told me because my mom was like, beauty fades, and you know what I'm saying, beauty and booty fade. And I was like, but I deserve what I deserve. My mama told me, she said, Marcus, you are a handsome young man. You are nice, you are kind, you are respectful. You deserve to have a woman that has all of those qualities inside as well as what you actually want and desire outside. There's nothing wrong with a man wanting all those things that you're going to want when you mature, but also want it in a nice package. But for some reason, we've been tricked into thinking that maturity means that you don't get the outside package or that you will no longer desire attraction.
Okay. Wait a minute, people. Wait a minute. We got somebody else joining us. You haven't seen this face in a while. He's backstage. The fit pastor, Mike P. What's going on?
Hey,
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? My brothers
Listen,
in the
so check it out,
house.
man. I don't know what you heard backstage, but today we're talking about settling. So let me give you a little context in case you didn't. Settle can mean two different things. It can mean that you're letting cement settle so you can create a house. You need the foundation to be strong. It can mean that you're throwing seeds in the dirt. You need it to settle so it can take root so you can grow fruit. It can also mean that this is what I really wanted, like up here, but I'll take whatever I get down here. And so there's two different ways we can look at it. Where do you fall in the conversation, Mike P? Is settling okay? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should we do it or should we not?
I think still it's time we understand yourself. See, one of my issues is I didn't understand, so I could not entertain myself because I did not entertain myself because I did not understand myself.
Right. Am I the only one that can't hear Mike?
I can't.
It's in and out.
Mike,
Yeah. Mike, if you can hear me wherever you're at, you have a spotty connection. So I'm going to take you off stage.
you're froze right now.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You can hear me now.
Yes.
What I was saying is that my issue with settling is I didn't settle with myself because I didn't know me. And so it was very difficult for me to entertain anybody else into an empty spot because I didn't know and I didn't have a feeling within myself. I had no place to plant a seed within myself for it to grow because I hadn't grown myself. So I went to this and that, this, that, and that because I didn't understand what I wanted inside of now the seed that was growing inside of something that just was a bunch of minutia. And I had to mature now to find out that I wanted to settle. But see, growing up an only child, I settled with being alone. And I was not apropos towards now having someone else around me. And so now someone that wants to be in my life, someone that's showing me what it is to be in my life, I had too many of them. And because I didn't know what I wanted in my life, I didn't know which one to choose. So I was like a Rubik's Cube. But at this age now, because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. I had to grow into now the person who I am right now. And it took a lot of stumbling blocks. And I think stumbling blocks and situations of just things that happen in your life really, really can mature you and make you a better person. So I appreciate the things I had to go through. I hate it because I hated hurting someone else. I hated hurting myself. But those stumbling blocks helped to make me strong.
Interesting. The stumbling blocks that make you strong. Drew, have you had any stumbling blocks that made you strong as a man when it comes to settling and commitment?
When it comes to settling and commitment, yeah, I kind of agree with Mike. My stumbling blocks were my own stumbling blocks, meaning I did not know who I was, what I wanted, what I was doing, where I was doing it. Yeah, I just did not know. And most importantly, I did not want her to know. I didn't even know when she was actually present, meaning I've had the perfect package presented to me. And I did not know what to do. So the perfect package just kept it moving, so, I wish that I were settled. I wanted to be settled. I was just never settled inside because I did not know what settle was. I thought it was a bad word.
Okay, so we got some comments here I want to address really quick. So Young May, she said, my struggle is the traditional upbringing of a man taking care of home versus this new age 50-50 stuff. Help. I am so scared to date. I also fear settling. Anybody want to address that?
Right here.
Big on. Let's go.
So we say this new age thing of 50-50 is settling, but truly, like, it comes from a biblical principle. And actually, the woman has always made more or been more productive than the man. And it states that even in that biblical thing that the man is a provider and all that. But the thing is this: no real woman is going to stand by and watch her man struggle to achieve a level of comfortability for the family. Every real man wants to be a provider. They want to be a protector, but we have to be properly motivated, appreciated. And so when we do those things, we don't feel like a slave to the family. There's no reason why we can't work together to achieve this goal. And we're all adults. There's no reason that a man has to pay all of your bills. There's no reason why a man has to pay for your way of living, but then he's sitting there like, man, I've slaved. Because here's the important point. I'm a contractor. I could get in an accident. One of my hands could be messed up. Now, all of a sudden, do I not have the value that I had before? And if you stay with me, then is it that you're settling for me? And men battle with this. So we don't want to settle with a woman that the only value she sees in me is in my pocket or my ability to keep a roof over her head.
Yeah, go ahead.
It dawned on me. I think I hear the difference. And forgive me, Big Unc, because I'm getting ready to interpret what I think I hear coming out of your mouth. I think you said earlier something about relationships, and then you were talking about paying her bills and stuff like that. For me, the way that I'm trying to hear this, there are many men who are married. They're not in relationships. So they're not negotiating paying her bills. The bills are not hers and his. The plan is, I have built this and I am now looking for a helpmeet to continue on with this. I have settled within myself. Now, the other side of that, which is me, I am not settled within myself. So I'm looking for a relationship because I have not built anything. So therefore, whomever I want to settle with, they need to come to the table to help me build, because I have not built anything. I don't have a plan. I don't have anything other than a hard dick.
Wait a
Can I
minute.
respond?
You said two different things. Wait a minute. Let me play the middle on this one. You said that the man, she's supposed to come in and be the helpmeet to help him further whatever he's done.
That's the
Then
marriage.
you said
That's the marriage.
if they're missed. What's the air quotes?
So I thought I heard Big Unc say something like relationships. Relationships are not marriages. He is looking for his helpmeet. He is marrying her. So therefore, her bills are not her bills. They are a part of the vision,
The
whatever
collective.
you are building.
Can I?
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
So this is the way that this works. It didn't dawn on me until later in life, because just being transparent, I was raised in a good household, but all my uncles and cousins was pimps and hustlers and womanizers. When that finally dawned on me, it was like, as a man, I should already have my own place to stay, have my own transportation, be working, have my own stream of income, and everything be cool to the point I can invite her into this world that I've created for myself. Good point. But when we talk about relationship and marriage being something different, they really should not be. And biblically, they're not. There's three things you have to do. Either give a woman a blanket, according to the Bible, y'all married now. That woman be seen leaving your house at a certain time of night or too early in the morning. Y'all married now. Or you enter a woman under your own roof. According to the Bible, you're married now. What this means is that you are now financially, contractually responsible for her. And as a man, you should already have a place to stay. You should already have this and have that. But for the woman, it says that the dowry gift is 1 year's worth of increase that she brought to her father's house prior to you. There are too many pick-me's now, but this is not about the woman. This is about the man being accountable to him. So for me, it was, I don't mind bringing a woman into this world that I've created for myself, the stability that I have, but I will not be her slave to where I'm coming and going, working and busting my ass, but she's enjoying the fruits of all my labor. But if something happens, she's not willing to jump in and help. And come on, help me out. Like, why should a man have to slave for his family?
So there's the answer to that question. Why should a man have to slave for his family? It sounds like that's who he found. He did not vet her properly before he proposed to her. He said,
Correct.
Big Booty Judy, come and give me this and give me that and give me this and give me that because that's what I want. He did not
That's
vet
the
her.
settle.
No. That's not the settle. That's not. I'm sorry. Go ahead, guys.
No,
No, finish. Well,
Yeah.
So I don't see that as settling because he's still not settled. He's wanting. A settled man is building. He's not still wanting stuff to come into his picture. He knows his picture.
settle.
Now he has a helpmeet that is helping him build that picture. It's like, I want this and I want that. And those wants are forever. And as he ages, he wants even more. Settled men, they actually marry, like you said, I put a blanket on her, I put my dick in her, whatever the case, we're married. I'm not looking outside anymore because we're married. We're now building this. And this is what I brought you into. This is the reason that I brought you here. So that means if I found you, I knew what kind of dowry you had or did not have. If I found you, I knew what kind of work ethic you had or did not have. If I found you, I knew what I found.
So,
So I want y'all
Then,
one second.
Coach.
I want y'all to keep hashing out this conversation because it's good. For those of you that are just tuning in, we're talking about settling. Is it good? Is it bad? Does it make sense? Is it actually how we grow and build together by settling and making a decision and sticking with it? Or is that a negative thing and we should just constantly be looking for better, looking for more? The comment on the screen is where we're at right now. She says, my struggle is the traditional upbringing of a man taking care of home versus this new 50-50 stuff. Help. I'm scared to date. I also fear settling. For those of you who are just tuning in, if you want to catch up on the conversation, you can always go to YouTube at Elevating Men. You can also catch us now on Amazon Fire. You can also catch us on Roku on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Just search Pod TV, POD TV. So let's get back to the conversation. Marcus.
So, root word of settle is set. So, a set man. A set man is an established man. So, I completely get where he's coming from. And I also, in turn, agree that a set man should know what he wants. A set man should vet that woman. Full transparency, again, I'm 40 years old. I did not plan to be single at this age, nor did I plan for society to be the way that it is. The women that are now available for me to pick from, the quality has gone down. And I'm not talking about, talking down on women. I'm saying the mindset of society. We have entered into a prostitution culture, and our young men are striving to impress these women, which is then again still pushing the prostitution culture. So we do end up settling for, this is the woman that was better than the rest. She may not be everything I want, but she's just better than the other options.
Coach G.
Are we talking about, so I think AB mentioned the helpmate. So when I hear stuff like that, I hear that we're talking about a woman that's in alignment with us. So I'm going down this path and I meet a woman as I desire to meet a woman that's on a similar path, where is willing to jump on the path that I'm on to support now, not just my vision, but now our vision. And because of her gifts and abilities, can take what I started to a whole nother level. I think Marcus, what he's talking about, this culture that we that a man is only a provider.
Hold on one sec. Uh, Mike, if you have this plan on two different devices, you have to stop one of them, and I think you keep hitting the back button and kicking yourself out. Okay, go ahead, Coach D.
Okay, so I think, and Unc, if I got you wrong, I think one of the things you're saying is the culture we live in, that a man is only valued in relationship if he brings dollars to the relationship. But I would argue to say a man is a provider if he has structure, if he has a vision, if he's moving in a positive direction. He may not have completed that plan, but if he's in the process of building that plan, that's a provider. And I think in today's culture, you're talking about, and again, not attacking women, but it's a lower mindset that you're only looking at a man who has X number of dollars in his pocket, driving this car, has this kind of house, when there's other men who are just now starting to build, or maybe lost what they had and are rebuilding again, that in time will have greater, if that's what we're going to be judged on, will have greater output than the guys that you're pushing towards. So,
well, see, here's something else that we got to consider too. So I want to break down this comment. The struggle is the traditional upbringing of a man taking care of home. We have to define that. What does a man taking care of home mean? Does that actually mean paying all the bills? And ladies, definitely hop in the comment section. Let us know exactly what you mean.
So,
what are your expectations when you say I need a man that takes care of home? Is that just direction, guidance, a plan, or are you literally saying I need somebody that can pay 100% of the bills? Now, pause. Now we have versus this new age 50-50 stuff. So if we're bringing it into a time continuum, we know that men and women are closer to equal when it comes to income nowadays. So one of the questions is this about lifestyle? Because like you said, I can have my own car, I can have my own house, I can make good money, I can pay all my bills, but then when I find that woman, is she okay with the lifestyle that I currently live? Or is she saying that you taking care of home is taking care of this home, like the home I want up here, not the home you have, like this home? We got to define it. So yeah, let's define this.
Doesn't that fall back in alignment that I was talking about?
Exactly.
If I find a woman that's aligned to my thoughts and my vision, I don't have those issues.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to go and reach for what the Joneses have. We're comfortable with what we have.
Exactly.
Most men that go after the woman that they visually desire, because you don't know nothing about the woman until you see her. And you see her, that's the first thing you eat with your eyes. And then you can taste and see that the Lord is good. Fortunately, I grew up in a two-parent household. My mom and dad were divorced for 10 years, then got back together. When they got back together, when they got back together, my dad didn't even have a job. He just stood on his 10 and was like, listen, I want my family back. And I got to see that traditionally men were raised to be providers. But what that looked like was, I'm a diesel mechanic in the Marine Corps. I cut hair. I write, I draw, I paint, I sew, I cook, I work on houses. I do plumbing, electrical, drywall, framing, sheetrock, install windows, doors, and floors. If there's an issue that arises, I can put my hands to use and solve it. I also saw my father come in with a plan, and my mom fought against the guidance that he was verbally giving her and the wisdom that he had. And they fought and they fought and they butt heads and they butt heads. Not actually fought, but she just wouldn't do. She just wouldn't comply. And then eventually she started complying. And then all of a sudden they started taking trips. They moved into a bigger house, moved out this neighborhood, moved into this neighborhood. And the more they continued to move, the more they continued to grow, the more she submitted. And now, I mean, listen, what they have is what I desire now. But it took time for her to submit to that. And the man's value, my dad's value, was never in the money that he could make. He had a plan that he executed. And what's so crazy is my mom went to school and all this. My dad, he got a GED after they got married. He retired before she did. He now has 2 incomes, and she's upset. She oftentimes she'll be upset or frustrated with it, but he had a plan, like Coach G was talking about, alignment.
So look, we got a bunch of comments I want to catch up on, and I got some questions myself. I don't even know where to go with this. It's a good conversation. Got a comment from Alana Sykes. She said, "Why do you think your mother eventually complied?" To your point, Marcus. So if you want to answer that, I'll look at some of the other comments.
Okay. My mother eventually complied because you want me to be honest? He rescued the family quite a few times financially. And the whole time she was being who she used to be, because my mom is a great woman. She's really changed. But the more she was being who she used to be, he was still in the background working. My dad was not one that said, I can't even remember him raising his voice. But he kept working and he kept building. So eventually she had no choice but to be like, if we're going to fix this problem, I have to do it his way because he's the only one with the answer. Not a lot of men are built with that patience anymore.
Interesting. Couple comments from Kareem Jackson. If you don't know who this man is, he is the owner of Black Kansas City Magazine. You want to follow him. He's clear out in the Philippines, supporting us here in Kansas City, Missouri. So we appreciate you, brother. What he said, settled. Nobody gets anyone to grow into or up to now, or nobody wants anyone to grow into now. What happened to growing together? So let's talk about that a little bit. Another part of this conversation that we haven't touched on. So one, we talked about the whole 50-50 thing. Time was brought into it. And so now we know that men and women pay is a little more equal. What about age? Like the age that you get together. So it's a lot easier. You meet somebody in college and you grow together because it's expected that, okay, we're all at the starting line. We're at the starting line together. We're about to run this race together. Dating in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s looks a lot different, especially when it comes to expectation of what you're already bringing to the table. And so would anybody like to speak to that nuance?
So we're about to run this race together. That still sounds like I don't have it figured out. It's still because I'm still looking at Yum Yum's comment. The struggle is this upbringing of a man taking care of a home. And then I go down to Gil Ochimoroni's, and she's like, he will provide a house and I will create a home, and then I go to Kareem's comment. The issue is that man is not the man America wants today. And it kind of feeds into what you were saying about time. Big Unc mentioned something similar to today's women and all this stuff. Where is yesterday's man, or not yesterday's man? Where is today's man that is seeing and building his tomorrow before he settles? Because Yum Yum said, "I'm so afraid to settle." Don't settle. You don't have to be in a relationship. Men, just because this is Big Unc, you use the word like prostitution culture, you don't have to settle. You don't have to. You don't have to stick your dick in something just because your dick says, hey, what about me? You ain't built me lately. You don't have to settle. You can keep building until you have built and then know what it is you are doing. And doing is that word that Father forgive them, because they settle because they knew not what they were doing.
Okay, so we got a response back from the one who sparked this part of the conversation. She said, "Why do men think taking care of the household means money only? My dad provided way more than just money. He gave us a lifestyle or mindset." But that's just one woman. So I know there's a few of you watching. When you say that you're looking for a man to take care of home, are you talking about financially? When you say provider, are you talking about money, or is it something else? What are the other things around that? And can a man maybe balance himself out? So say maybe his money's here, but his integrity and leadership are here. Does that balance out? Or is finances the main thing? Coach G.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gary.
No, so I think we beat up on the provider so much, like when we have our men's groups and we talk about that as men, that we don't want to just be the provider. I think about my father and my grandfather, the older men, that's all they did. They provided. I didn't want for a lot of things, but that's what they did. But I needed more than that. I needed their support. I needed their love. I needed affirmation and affection and things like that they didn't give, that then creates a broken man syndrome that just filters out from there. I think we've got to learn to become more balanced. Too much of anything is bad. So when women say they want a provider, and if it's financial, do you really want that? That's all the man does. I hear so many times women say, I want an emotionally intelligent man. Do you really want that? Because if that's all he is, that man will kick you out the door when he gets
Quickly.
Quickly, right? He won't bat an eye. I again just fall back on balance. My 2 words tonight are balance and alignment. I think if that man is balanced, that woman is balanced, it creates alignment, and now they can move forward in the right direction at the right time, at the right pace, and it's productive.
If I can, I would like to say a set man doesn't settle. Men are built to achieve. We are built to accomplish. So a set man will not settle. The bar did not raise as far as what I was going for, and not just in women, even in career, ministry, as far as God, as far as myself. Once I became set, then I didn't settle for anything because I didn't need so much. And I wasn't looking at myself saying, I don't have, I'm not. And so I started saying, now, like he said, emotionally intelligent man will dismiss you quickly because, oh, she cut me off too many times. I don't have to deal with this. Oh, I noticed that she doesn't know how to listen. Oh, I don't have to deal with this. Oh, is that how she talks to her children? Oh, I don't have to deal with this. And so it becomes very dismissive because now he's set. So there's nothing that you're adding that he wasn't already comfortable with not having before you came.
Drew, it looked like you are. What are you thinking, bro? What are you thinking?
I'm just listening to the brothers. Yeah, I forgot what Gary was saying. I forgot, but the sheesh, and then Big Unc just got.
Look, it's going. It's going.
I'm going back to. I want this for my life. I want to be happy. I want a 2-bedroom house because that's what I can afford. Just getting out of high school or college or the military, and I want it in this particular neighborhood. And I don't want to live alone, so I want a wife in this house. The type of house that I have to make sure that I can afford the bills, all the utilities. I want a car. I know I'm giving this list of everything that I want, and I'm putting a price tag by it. That was what it. I am not compartmentalizing myself. I am not just paying the bills. I am building my picture. If I want a cell phone, I add that to the list of things that I am wanting, and I make sure that I can afford it. If I can afford it, it does not go on that immediate list. I don't just put it on there just because I want it. I am building this picture based on what I can do. So therefore, when I propose this to her, and this 2-bedroom house is not enough for her, then we're talking about alignment, like Gary was talking about. Hey, this is who I am, and I'm going to keep it moving. I'm going to respect who she is, and the next person that I see, like Big Unc said, that I like, I'm going to approach her with my proposal, because one of them is going to say, you know what, I like that, and we don't have to have 5 kids because we have a 2-bedroom house. So therefore, we might have 1 child. And,
there it is.
And because we are growing together, when I say growing together, because I'm still managing, not paying the bills, what could happen is she might actually get a job. She might actually want other things to bring to the table. And we put that on the list of what we're building, not affording and not paying for.
Good point. So we got a comment here. 1 second. We got a comment. I just want to make sure we got it on for the audio portion of the podcast. In addition to financial provision, we asked what other ways can a man provide? A man, the head of the wife, provides protection, emotional support, mental wellness, friendship, accountability, leadership, insight, partnership, and vision for himself and his family. I love the comment, but for those of you who are tuning in, if you have a man that checks all of these boxes, and the financial provision is a little lacking when it comes to lifestyle. Now, I mean, we ain't talking about Ray that's sitting on the couch that ain't got no job. We're talking about a man who is working, a man who has his own, but it isn't up to your standard as far as lifestyle, but he provides all of these other elements of a good relationship. Is that enough? Drop your comment in the comment section. We'll get to it. Big up.
The growing together and even addressing the rest of it. So let's get off of the financially being a provider. Just it's not a 50-50 thing. It's 100%. And it's, does this man bring 100% of his best home? Not is he sharing out there in the streets? Is it like dwindling by the time he gets home? I don't get 100%. But the growing together part is, we say that women mature faster than men. And if this be so, then why are these women not like our big mamas and grandmas from back in the day, where they could look at a man, they could measure this man before he opened his mouth, and they could actually stick it through and do the work? And I'm not saying they had to, but they will help him grow into the man that we're like, oh, well, grandpa used to do all these great things, this, that, and the other. That's because he had a loving wife that helped him grow into it. Not saying that he wasn't already set when she met him, but she knew that, you know what, I can bring more out of him. And that's what a relationship, a marriage, is. Each party enhances the other party.
Alignment.
If you don't have that, you don't have anything. If you don't have each party enhancing, because they're going to actively do something. If they don't enhance each other, then they will start to pull from each other.
And see,
Interesting.
you always talk about, I'm always man bashing and stuff like that, as if a woman does not have responsibility in this. Well, the thing is when he finds her, it is her responsibility to actually listen to his full proposal, not just jump into what he's offering or what he's asking, not offering, but just asking. If he does not have an offer and places it on the table where she can actually read through it and then counter propose by saying, well, these are the things that my life and my heart wants. How could it fit in here? And if he does not have a fit in there, she can keep it moving. She does not have to choose him. He finds her, she chooses his proposal, if he has one. If he does not have a proposal, yum, keep it moving.
Interesting. Lorenzo Hughes, man, that's one of the greatest actors out of Kansas City. We got to have you back on the show, bro. I'm gonna inbox you later. But he said, where does teamwork come into the relationship, and what does it look like? Both parties should bring 100% to the table. Anybody want to jump on that comment?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. I have to bring 100% home. 100% of who I am. And so what we got to get away from is looking at 50-50 and start getting back to, is your 100% good enough, or am I settling for what your 100% is? But on my scale, your 100 might only be 45%. If we get to the point where that man is bringing us 100% and that 100% is worth her 100%, then at that point we can really start building. And it goes back to the comment I made where I said, in a relationship, each party enhances the other party. If not, each party is pulling something away from the other party. It's got to actively be doing one or the other. Either you're enhancing or you're pulling away from. When I go to work, because I'm at work, I'm making that company money. That company turns around and pays me. I enhance them, they enhance me. That's the same way a relationship works. I build her up, she builds me up. Now we're moving forward together and we're greater, so now we can accomplish greater.
Interesting. Okay, so this is a good point, y'all. Listen, if you're tuning in, give us like a minute and a half, because we have to give a shout out to our sponsors. We're obligated to do so. Don't go anywhere. We're going to jump right back into the conversation here in just a sec.
You're tuning into the Fitness Way, Mike's Way. So you better get ready.
your CDL is more than just earning a certificate. It's about creating a balanced life and prioritizing what matters most. At Aries CDL Institute, we understand the importance of mental health, work-life balance, and spending quality time with your family. We're here to guide you into a rewarding career that not only supports your financial goals, but also allows you the flexibility to be there for your loved ones. Let us help you take the wheel of your future, because a fulfilling career starts with a healthy balance.
All right, we're back. We're back. So shout out to our sponsors, Aries CDL Institute. If you have a business or an organization, a nonprofit, a church, whatever it may be, and you're wanting some additional exposure through Elevating Men, we do have advertising packages available. Just inbox us on our page and we'll get that information to you. Also, the commercial that you've seen for fitness was from our very own Mike Patton. And so you want to reach out to him if you're trying to get in shape, you want to get in the best shape of your life, you want to look the best that you can, you want to feel good, you want to be healthy, he can help you out with that. He was having some technical difficulties. Otherwise, he'd be on to give you a little more information, but you can also inbox the Elevating Men page. Let's get back to it. We're talking about settling. We got a lot of comments here. Let me see where we want to go.
Look, Lorenzo Hughes.
Hey, Kareem said the way this conversation sounds, there is no love for us anymore. Do you feel unloved, fellas? Do you feel unloved?
No, but I am very aware that in order for me to be a valuable and productive member of society, a valuable and productive member of my church home, my society, church home, my home, I have to be a productive man. I have to be set. I have to know that for me, it's not good for me to settle. I have achieved as much as I have because I refuse to just settle for what I was able to do at that time, or settle for what people were willing to give me or what people were willing to teach me. I used to go to work for free just to learn other trades. And now I own my own business. I refuse to settle. Women, a lot of times forget that men are set to conquer. We're set to achieve. This is a nature that's been put in us unless that man has been broken. And I believe that a lot of men that are willing to settle instead of being a set man, they're broken.
Okay, so here's one question. This was the original question from part 1. So if you missed that, go back and watch the show from last week. When we were talking about settling, we used the analogy of cement. Like it actually has to settle for you to build a home. You can't build anything without settling. You can't grow anything from seeds until it settles in the dirt and it takes root. You can't do anything without settling. And so we created this negative connotation around settling that has all of us constantly searching, constantly looking. Like you said, you could find a good woman, but you're still thinking about Keisha because you're scared that you're settling. A woman can find a good man, but she's still thinking about James over here or whoever's in her inbox on Instagram because, wait a minute, maybe, nah, not me, bro. maybe, just maybe, I could do a little better. Maybe I can find somebody that has a little more money. You're saying maybe I can find somebody that's a little more attractive. We keep going with the maybe. What is the issue that we're having? Why we can't take a person from where they're at? Like you said, Andrew, you create the proposal, you have the plan, but you say, well, hey, can we start here together? She has the opportunity to accept or decline, but why are so many women refusing to settle? The title of this is Men Will Not Settle Down. So that means that, look, like, I just don't want to settle down. I want to be free. I want to have my options open. If Big Booty Judy walk by tomorrow, I want to be able to jump on it. I don't want to be tied down. I do not want to settle down. Women aren't settling, period. Meaning that if any of those boxes that are on her list remain unchecked, she may still be looking. That's what it appears in modern culture. And so if neither man or woman is willing to settle down, where does that leave family and where does that leave our community if we can't build together?
So
Philip,
put Kareem's comment back up, please.
which one?
The last one. Wow, brothers, no love anymore. I feel bad. I feel bad for y'all. This wow, brothers, no love anymore. And forgive me, Kareem, because I'm getting ready to twist this into my own mind. But I think that is the problem. That love. We actually think that because Andrew, you asked the question, do you feel loved? We actually think that love is a feeling, and it's not.
Right. Exactly.
We actually think in today's society that love is a feeling that we're missing out on, which is why we keep searching for this feeling, this drug, this love. And it's not a feeling. It never has been a feeling. You know, and Lorenzo Hughes has commented at 8:42 p.m. If you could please put that one back up. Because we're looking for love, where does teamwork come into the relationship? Today's world says, I just want to be in a relationship so I can get love. I just want to be in a relationship. A relationship. That's the buzzword. Women are looking to be in a relationship. Men are looking to be in a relationship so they can get love. Nobody's building anything because they don't necessarily know that love is not that feeling that they're going to get from building. They're going to get so much more.
Can you elaborate on the more, please?
They're going to get their dream. They're going to get their vision. They're going to get everything that includes this loving thing or this feeling or whatever. It includes all of that. They just think that the love is the end. If I don't feel this, then this is not good. But this right here, the love that they think that they're getting, is way down here. Their dream is legacy. It's tomorrow. It's forever. Much bigger than this feeling that they're searching for.
So now we're back to the business of marriage versus what we've made it in Western culture.
Not the business, the building of marriage. Business is only one aspect of building.
I actually heard something a couple days ago. A man said that if a person can tell you why they love you, they don't really love you. And he referenced the Bible, that in the Bible, it never says why God loves us. It's just that he loves us. And so we pull out individual attributes based off of how they make us feel. And we say, that's why I love this person or that. And so I understand your point. On the other hand, though, who wants to be in a relationship that just says, you know, hey, like, we work well for business, we're going to, you know, obtain some goals, but there's no feeling or emotion or love the way that we think about it involved in that? Nobody wants that either. And so, you know, like a woman can have an NFL player, NBA player, the provision is there and everything on her list. I want to be able to take trips. I want to be able to buy the bags. I want the kids to go to private school. All of those things are happening, but she's lonely inside and she's lacking. And so what happens in that situation? Maybe she steps out. Maybe she becomes the desperate housewife. That's where the work boyfriend comes into play. That's where the pool boy comes into play. All these tropes that we see on TV that are actually modeling real life, it comes from the lack of a feeling of love. So it's really not just about achievement or checking a box of items that we want. And so there's got to be some kind of balance. I get what you're saying. I just don't hear the balance.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
A lot of people are teaching and passing down wisdom that is nothing more than cliches, but it's not actually built off of what's in the Bible. Nobody in the Bible ever married for love. Not one person in the Bible married for love at all. Love is a byproduct, and love was always supposed to be a byproduct of all the other things that are important. But like you said, why do you love me? Because you do this. So this is the reason why, and this is what happens because you fulfill this thing. For me, I'm not so much worried about you loving me. I need you to want me. I need you to desire me. I need you to respect me. I need you to appreciate me. And most of all, I need you to allow me to be me. One place I should be able to be myself is at home. And at home is not the house. It's in the relationship. If I have those things, love is of a sub consequence. It's subsidiary to those things. It's gonna happen.
I don't know if I agree with that. Like Kareem here, I think I'm leaning on his. There is a feeling too. Y'all just missing it, and it's sad. Love and business, y'all settling overall now. Because if you have the respect, you have the honor, all the other things that you mentioned, but then in some way, for some reason, you end up making a connection with another woman, or you meet another woman's acquaintance, that's able to give you the feeling that we desire, the feeling of love, that's where infidelity starts. Am I wrong?
Yep. Oh,
Yeah, you're wrong. One of those points I
talk to me.
mentioned was that I get to be myself at home. And at home is in the relationship, that I'm wanted, that I'm desired, that I'm appreciated. None of these things that I mentioned had anything to do with business. They're all just me. The essence of who I am is wanted, is desired, is appreciated, respected, and I'm able to be myself, unapologetic.
Is that not love?
That's why love becomes the byproduct of those things.
So love is this general
I don't know.
Love is just this general word that is thrown around by the user.
Way too much.
If I build a house and it's now mine and I'm paying the mortgage, or I've paid the mortgage off, and then I invite someone into my world and she accepts my proposal, she is going to actually hold me in a way that house never did. And I'm going to feel something. And I'm gonna be like, oh, damn. And not only is she going to hold me, but I'm going to want to do something to make that feeling come back. So I'm going to take her to dinner and she's going to kiss me. And I'm like, oh, damn. And then I'm going to want to do something even more to make that feeling even more based on what I can afford. And then I'm going to plan a trip and surprise her and take her to this island. And she is going to, and I'm going to, oh my God. But then where I mess up is, oh, if I can do this with her, I can go do this with Big Booty Judy. Yeah, boy.
A lot of men, when they find a woman, they're not that guy.
Okay,
that
so
woman comes along and builds him up, and now he's got it all, and he does start to look out there because he's settled for her. She built him, and I'm only speaking on the topic, which is why men don't settle. So I'm not talking about why men do settle. Why men don't settle is because when he found that woman that helped him build, he wasn't the man he wanted to be. It was something inside him that he desired, that he knew he could be, but he just didn't have a way to get it. She comes along, builds him up, and then he looks across the street and says, all right, Keisha, I'm ready now.
So that was
and it's not fair to the woman.
But that's immaturity. So okay, so
that was not the description I gave. The description
I'm sorry, go ahead.
was, I built the house and I invited her in, and she gave me something that I never felt before. Big Booty Judy never met. I don't know Big Booty Judy. All I'm saying is this woman made my house a home. She made this house in here. She made me feel something. She warmed it up. And I said, oh, damn. So I wanted to do more to get this warm feeling that she brought to the table.
Okay, and so this is how you would advise yourself, because I think when we get into these conversations, we all forget we have children, right? And so what you're telling me is that you would tell your son, build this, right? And then when this woman comes in and hugs you like, oh my gosh, look at what you've accomplished, then you need to go and find other ways to spend money on her to make her feel the same way again, to keep hugging you. Because what I heard was,
you just said, then I got to go out and find other ways to manufacture that feeling. I don't have to.
No, but that's what you said. Right. And you want to. So now that makes me want to give. At what point in there are you able to evaluate this woman's true feelings if everything was led with what you're giving?
Hold on.
Because that's what I heard.
It sounds like you're blaming the woman.
I'm not blaming the woman. I'm saying that if you were advising your son, your thought is give because she's making you feel a certain way, and then in what?
You
I can't raise the trick.
You reap what you sow. So what I'm saying is, if I start to want all of this, then we're talking, this whole thing is about mental health. If my wants get out of control, where I'm starting to do this for this feeling, that becomes a drug. That becomes,
that's what you said.
Off track. Now I am not building. I am just doing this for this feeling.
Exactly.
Nothing to do with her. That's me.
So
But
was
I mean, do you
married.
see the contradiction in that statement though? Because that's the same thing that I was saying before. You have the man that can provide. So yeah, she's hugging them, they making love, they doing whatever, and it's like, okay, I want to give, I want to give, I want to give of my resources to gain this feeling that she gives me when she appreciates the things I do for her. I didn't hear anything that had to do with pouring into her mentally. I didn't hear anything that had to do with connecting with her spiritually. All I heard was give her things.
So wait. All you heard was give her things and finish that so I can get what I want. So I can get this drug that has me feeling this way. That is where
Right.
the imbalance comes in. That's my
And I
fault.
think that, so that's where I think where Kareem is saying, where's the love part? Because if you start off with a pure connection, like mentally, spiritually, and then you bring that into the physical realm, and then you start talking about, okay, yeah, you know, the dates, the gifts, all of that, it's completely different than saying that, okay, I've built this, now let me start giving you pieces of what I built so that I can get a feeling. I just don't see that as good advice.
I
So-
didn't give her a piece. I found her. I built all this and then I found her. I didn't give her a
So-
piece of my house. I gave her the whole proposal. And when she
So-
accepted it,
This is
she
crazy.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You're fine. You're fine. Someone was that's watching the show was just saying, like, where's the biblical principle, this, that, and the other, and that she agrees, but respectfully, she's listening, but she respectfully disagrees. Well, the thing is that what he's saying is actually biblical. If we say that the marriage, because nobody in the Bible married for love, that's biblical. The man builds this world, he builds this home, and then he invites the woman in, and because he invited her in, and then she loves on him, he loves the feeling, and I think he just had a misplacement of words by saying to go out and find the ways to spend money on her. No, he's saying to take care of her, to treat her, to love on her, so that you can keep getting that. It's reciprocation, the law of reciprocation. God created the world, and then he placed us in it. And then he said, because I've created all this and I provided all this, I want you to love me. I want you to be obedient. I want you to respect me and live by my laws and commandments. Something that God showed me when I was married. I woke up one day and my truck wouldn't start, and it wouldn't start for a while. And I was like, man, I have fixed and I've replaced so many parts on it. And I was just crying out to God about it. The wife at the time was not treating me right. And God said, it's not about how she treats you. It's about how you treat her. You're accountable for your own actions. And God said that truck will not start until you take care of your wife the same way you take care of that truck. The moment it needs, and you try to get the things it needs before it needs it. So it's not about the money. It's just money sometimes is the way that you're able to achieve those things. Because not every man is a plumber. So he can't go and fix the plumbing. He's going to have to pay somebody to. Not every man is a mechanic. He can't go, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go get it fixed. I'm going to go get the rims that she desired. Not every man can sew. So he's going to have to go and pay for some of those things. Unfortunately enough, my mama taught me how to do a lot of them, and my daddy. But we have to get to the point to where we do build a world. We invite her in, and because she helps maintain and she enhances it, now it levels up. So the things that I do for her can level up.
Man, we got a few. Spencer Parker, what's going on, brother? He was at the prayer breakfast this past Saturday. Fellas, if you have missed out on the Man Cave breakfast that we have every month, you're missing out on a good thing. And so be looking out for the next one. Is going to be November 9th. You want to make sure that you're in the building, so be looking for that. Let's say he said, as a single brother myself, there are certain qualities I'm not willing to settle for. I understand that to be true for the opposite sex as well. I think most desires over observed qualities. Let's see. So Glee, if she's only moved by your finances and material gains, set her free. She's unhealed. Gary, we haven't heard from you in a minute, bro. We haven't heard from you in a minute. You just been observing, listening, taking notes. Where are you at on this whole love thing and the provision and the plan, and like, how does that all come together for you?
Well, go ahead. I mean, initially I wanted to jump in some of the discussions, but man, this is sad.
Yes, sir.
When we go back, the four of us, and replay this and watch this, man, it just shows you how far we have fallen
Mhm.
And we've got dysfunctional men, dysfunctional women trying to build relationships that are going to be dysfunctional. And the root cause, I feel like all of this is we haven't settled within ourselves. We don't even know who we are. We don't know what we want. We don't know what we desire. We don't know what we're looking for. We don't know what direction we're going, but yet we're trying to build relationships. I don't know, man. I feel like we got to back up, and men got to work on men and get settled in themselves. Know who you are. Have confidence and belief in yourself. Have a goal. Have a vision. Women got to do the same things. We got to get back to biblical roles. I know what my responsibility as a man is in a relationship or in a marriage. A woman should know her responsibilities in a relationship. I mean, God ordained it to click that way. I feel like we have taken on the worldview of the world, and then we sit back and wonder why stuff is all jacked up and dysfunctional when the Lord laid out a blueprint. I mean, to the point of love, I think you've got to have love in a relationship. I think all the things that we've talked about, you've got a man and a woman that are aligned spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, all these different areas, and they're doing things for each other. They're giving of themselves 100 to each other. If she needs, he gives. With not wait for her to ask, but if she needs, he gives. If he needs, she gives. And they're just going back and forth, reciprocating back and forth in all different areas of life. That's love. I think one of the comments said, when a person is sick, if I'm down, I'm weak, I lose a business, was one of the comments. And that woman isn't there to degrade me and beat me down, but hold up the fort until I can get back up. That's love. I just think you don't see that anymore. That's what's sad.
Wow. Well, Asa Barnes, just real quick, I'm gonna read this one comment, then I'm coming to you. He said, men and women want different things that constitutes love. It's both tangible and intangible. The hard part is finding the right person who understands your language and still feels like they can be themselves. We also change as we grow and mature. It's a gamble, but it works only if both parties are in it for the right reasons. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And Asa Barnes, just so y'all know, he's a realtor in Kansas City. He's also a singer. And so if you need somebody for your singing engagements, or a realtor to help you find a home, shout out to Asa Barnes. Thanks for tuning in, bro.
Sure, go Asa.
Drew.
So we keep using this word relationship and relationships. I think of that word as just that, a ship. And if there's two ships, relationships, that means I'm on mine and she's on hers.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If this is a relationship, then I have built one ship. I haven't built multiple ships. I've built one ship that I want to relate with someone and to someone on it. So before I ask her to come aboard, I am going to actually have that ship prepared, including its destination. Before I let somebody come on board, I'm going to make sure that they are ship worthy and ready. I am going to vet them before I invite them to my relationship, before I begin relating with them. Now, here's the problem. What happens is we think this relationship is something that now says I can now take on all the responsibilities and get all the pleasures of marriage or of this commune, of this pact. So therefore, when I find out that this person does not fit my ship or is not rowing, I got to pull over to the dock and let them off so that I can get some other mate and go a little bit further and then come back and put them on the dock, because I don't know what my ship was built for, nor do I know what my first mate needs to be equipped with in order to help me get to a destination. I'm looking for a relationship, and it's supposed to have love. The definition of love, the way I have it, is right here. Y'all keep talking about the Bible. And we know that all things work for good to those who love God. And we know that all things work together. When all things work together for the good of the destination, the result of that feels like love.
Sounds like alignment to me.
So
Interesting. Interesting. Go ahead, Mark.
we keep overlooking this, and I've said it several times. Unfortunately, biblically, no one in the Bible married for love. I don't care what your grandma taught you. I don't care what your pastor said. Well, you can pray and fast for a husband. The Bible don't say you can't at all. No one in the Bible married for love. What Christ did say, the only time that it was made just plain was in today's society. We will not agree with what Christ said. Christ said, and remember, this is the one that was crucified. This was the one that was spit on. This was the one they turned their back on. I mean, they did him dirty. They hunted this man. And when they finally got him, they tortured him. And he said, love your wife as I have loved the church. In today's society, unfortunately, most men are not going to do that. We don't agree with that. We're not going to sacrifice ourselves to the point that woman can torture us, spit on us, abuse us, disrespect us, neglect us, turn her back on us, and still we love her.
Let me ask a question, because we have not done. We're missing a lot of definition here. So you guys have talked about a ship and getting it to a destination, and you are building the ship, and then you're trying to find somebody who would be a good shipmate, et cetera, et cetera. Can someone give me an example of the destination? And so you said that, it's not about love. It's about, provision, providing what someone wants or whatever they see the goals for their lives to be. And after you do that, then you'll receive what feels like love. Can you give me an example of a destination? Somebody, please.
For me would be my death. For me, the ship is still going because I actually have children who are now the new captain, and the ship is still going. That's what I'm building is not for me. What I'm building, I'm putting into motion so that the vision.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't state my question right. I apologize.
Yeah.
For a woman, because it's the man's job to plan and build the ship that's going to a destination. Mm-hmm. So for a woman, what does that look like? Because she shouldn't hop on a ship that's not going where so I just want some examples. Like it could be, what are some examples?
Well, I can't speak for a woman, but I would hope that she doesn't see in my proposal, it has no destination. It's going to continue going and sailing until it reaches the stars. And she's like, how's our ship going to reach the stars? And it's in water. Say, baby, hey, I never put this ship in water in the beginning.
I'm somewhat in agreement with AB in that, because I think I'm a big believer in legacy.
Exactly.
That I think you've got to always be building for. Remember, we talked last week about, I want to build where my ceiling is my children's floor for the next generation.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. So I think she's got to buy into your legacy. And it's not just my legacy, it's her legacy, it's our legacy.
Exactly.
That is just continues to grow and move. So it's never ending.
Okay, so legacy, like let's keep defining. Let's keep defining, because I want some clarity, because we're gonna have to stop the conversation at some point. So I'm just trying to get to a point of clarity. Legacy. That means what? Is that saying is that specifically a business that you're passing down? Are we talking about asset? Like what is legacy?
A legacy is when God said, let us create man in our image. God is the spirit. So it was nothing natural that he passed down to man. The attributes, the morals, the principles, the values, just the way I might wear a suit, like it's who I am. And a lot of that came from my father. A lot of that came from the other men in my family and my mother as well. My issue with the whole build is, if I have a kingdom that I've built and I'm set, and she has a kingdom that she's built and she's set, you can't put 100% into 100%. It is better to build together, because what'll happen is she'll come along with her ship. You got your ship. We're going to have to do some destruction in order to merge these two. You got to find someone that is willing to build. And like Coach G said, alignment. Y'all going the same direction. She should not have to sacrifice her goals, ambitions, and dreams in order to help push yours. And you shouldn't have to do that either. We have to be able to come together and, like you said, alignment. It perfectly aligns. And so we're able to enhance each other and we grow, and love will happen in the middle.
Okay. So, AB, there was a comment directly to you from Asa. One ever totally has their shit together. That's why it's important for people to be honest on where they are and not expect to change the other person, but be humble enough to accept their shortcomings and allow the other person to help them be better. Any thoughts on that?
Perfectly said, Asa Barnes, because this whole elevating men concept started because of men's mental health. So what you just got finished describing is that a lot of men that are having this conversation, we didn't have our ship together in the first place.
Right.
We did not have our ship together in the first place. And that's where two people come together with broken ships. Like I think Big Unc just described, she has her ship, I have my ship, and they collide. And now we're trying to build one ship, and they collide. That does not feel like, and they collide. That's what we're doing, because I don't have a destination. I don't have a ship. I'm looking for me, and I'm looking for me sometimes in her.
So he brought up the age point that we brought up earlier. If you aspire to marry young, you will not have it all together. It takes time to build character, money, maturity, empathy, etc. A woman might wait a lifetime to find a man who checks all of the boxes, just like a man can wait a lifetime thinking the same thing. And so we're talking about settling, growing, and building. Do we want so much, and are we so focused on a specific thing that we're adding to our legacy that we really can't actually stop and grow with anyone to get there? Do we want too many things? Do we want too many things?
I've experienced that. Most times when I try to date a woman now, like being set and being, established. When I try to date a woman around my own age, it's a lot of butting of heads. She's already raised her kids. She's already figured out how to pay her bills and stay out of debt, or at least, keep her head above water. And so when I come along with my ideas and my ways of doing things, she's like, well, what is this? But culturally, a man would learn himself, establish himself, and then he would go out and get a woman. And that woman would usually be younger, and it's so that he can enhance her and she help her skip a lot of the hurdles in life so that he can elevate her.
Was that really what was happening, or was it about him and his legacy, and it didn't have anything to do with elevating her?
So what go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan. Answer that question.
Okay. Culturally, it was about his legacy because he did want to be able to impregnate someone that he knew could bear the child. But it was also about elevating her, because if he couldn't get her set and established, and he's older than her, he would most likely die off before she would. So he has to make sure that she's taken care of, she's set and she's established. That way, when he's gone, if the children still got to be raised, he doesn't have to worry about another man coming in and taking over his legacy.
Okay, but let's fast forward. It's 2024. Buy life insurance. Visit AOJohnsonLifeinsurance.com. So sorry, shameless plug, but I'm just saying though. I mean, it's 2024. We keep going back to the Bible. It's 2024. You can buy life insurance. Legacy's taken care of. You don't have to. None of that's relevant today.
If I date a woman that got kids, I prefer for that man to be dead or in jail. Have you heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard that.
He's out the way. So even if he has kids and I come into her life and I have every good, intention, I'm about to imprint my legacy on these children that came from another man. So life insurance ain't got nothing to do with these intangible morals and principles and values that I'm about to imprint.
So that sounded good. That sounded good for some kids. Some kids, just because the father's not there, he's not out the way because he's always there, and that's what a lot of kids are dealing with. But you made the comment about relationships and they're butting heads, kind of like those ships colliding.
Mhm.
When you're dating, if you're dating a person and you're butting heads, why?
That's a red flag. There's no alignment there.
There's no need to butt heads if you are just going out sharing you with this person. If you find out this person does not like you or does not feel you or does not fit you, keep it moving and allow them to also. You don't have to butt heads trying to change that person into your first mate. You're just dating. You're just vetting. You're just finding out. And when you find out, accept her truth. We're butting heads. Keep it moving. Despite
And so
the
what
fact that you got a big booty.
and Glee is saying, can we get rid of the boxes and start relating as human beings? I feel like that's part of what's missing out of the conversation too. But Coach G.
I actually like her comment above that is the one I wanted to address. And this was great what she just said. The one at 9:16. Can you see that?
Yeah.
That is the balance that I was talking about.
Hmm.
That this man has taken time to build himself, prepare himself. He sought the Lord for what is the vision for myself. And I think God, being God, knows the perfect helpmate for him, already has that woman picked out. So when he starts to move forward into his vision and then he sees his helpmate there and connects with her, she will automatically align to the vision because it is part of her too. That doesn't take anything away from her. It doesn't take anything away from what she's doing. All she will do is enhance that because she will make that man better, stronger, wiser, will allow him to have rest. She will give him peace. He will become more creative. Submission happens automatically on both sides. I just think, wow, what a beautiful comment. And she articulated so well what I meant about balance. I think we are the head as the man, God ordained. But when we are walking in proper alignment and balance, we become a mirror image. Then that mirror image woman sees us, we see her, we connect in balance and alignment. We move forward together, creating legacy and creating love.
And there's no butting heads.
Unfortunately, I believe, according to the word, that's actually the reason why these relationships are failing, is because we're looking for God to do something that he's made plain is not his responsibility, that he will not do. God will not send you a husband or a wife. He will not. But we're looking for him to do it, so we don't take accountability and responsibility to do the vetting, to do the work on ourselves, to actually evaluate this man or this woman and say, are they worthy of the work that I've done on myself? I will not. I had to tell 3 women last week, I will not allow you to get me out of my character or to undo the work that it took me years to achieve and becoming the person that I am. For that reason, I'm gonna have to ask you to get out my truck.
Okay, but that being said, it makes you appreciate so much more the woman who's done equal, if not more work. That's the kind of woman you want to come in alignment with.
No. Gary, you missed the whole thing. He had 3 different women in his truck at the same time and said, if y'all are not going to be in alignment with me, get out of my truck.
Oh man. Okay, so wait a minute. So look.
Was being said.
Before we wrap this up, and I really don't want to, I really don't. But before we wrap this up, because we've given this whole visual, and I'm sorry, I think in pictures. Like if I can't see it, it just don't exist. And so, can you whoever wants to give this, what should dating look like, and help me understand the proposal and what it sounds like, and what should the woman's thought process be? And when you give all these answers, speak from the perspective of a parent talking to their child, meaning if you have a daughter, what should she be looking for in a proposal? If you have a son, what should his proposal sound like? Get out of your own feelings. Because I think a lot of times we say a lot of things that we it sounds good to us in our adult mind, but we ain't transferring these types of messages to our kids.
So
right.
One of the things that Gary alluded to it with Gil Ochi Maroney's comment was his patience in building. It took him time to do this. And damn, Big Unc said something. But anyway, it took him time to do this. So if I cannot instill in my son the value of being patient in building. Oh, Big Unc said, God won't do this for you or something like that. He won't build your ship for you either. It's your responsibility to do the work. So I'm going to tell my son, don't wait on God to do what's your job.
Yes, sir.
You got a vision, you build the vision. You build it, and it's going to take time to build it. Don't rush it, and don't rush bringing anybody into an unfinished building, because it will be dangerous. Something can collapse, meaning this can collapse, this can collapse, something else can collapse, and there will be calamity once things collapse because you rushed this. It was you did not finish your foundation.
My response, what I've told my children, well, I've been married before, so I had teenagers and young kids, but also what I told my son when it came to this whole thing was, would you go outside naked? You can. Like, you can physically walk out of this door, booty hole butt naked. There's going to be some consequences because of that. You're going to get some attention that you don't want. Some unhealthy attention, and some of it's going to be quite aggressive. Now, when it comes to dating, make sure you're fully clothed. Make sure you're properly prepared to go out there and figure out what season it is, what season she's in, so that you're also dressed correctly, so that you're guarded. Because at the end of your dating situation, this has to still be intact. This has to still be intact. So if you go out there in the elements and you've not built yourself up, you haven't put on what's necessary, then it ain't their fault that they took advantage of you. Find a fool, use it.
Coach G, what advice are you giving to the young men and the young women when it comes to dating, partnership, relationships? What's your advice, Coach G? Oh, I don't know what happened. So for me, I've got two. What's that?
Before you end this, will you please put up Kareem Jackson's 9:25 p.m. comment? That one right there. What do you think about that one?
Wow, y'all missing it. Women. This is the state of men today. I hope the next generation is better. But if you look at all of his comments, I don't know. How did you interpret that?
So I interpreted that the way that Asa was talking about, as far as we come to the table, sometimes our ship is not fully built. You know, this.
Okay, because if we look at his comments, he's
all
saying
his comments have been one directed.
Yeah, he's saying, I'm seeing how y'all feel. None of y'all are saying how you feel. Talking about love, saying that love is missing, how it's good, how you know what you need, mentally beat down. Let me go through his comments. Yes, men are being mentally beat down nowadays. He also said, we too smart. Find someone to live life together. Commitment seems to be lacking now. A woman sees where she can fit in and help you achieve. She sees herself inside. And so he's talking about the other side of the ball. Why do you guys love your kids? The same feeling that's lacking in your relationship. Saying that we should feel love. Love can grow. Women, y'all are not both working and inspiring and supporting these men no more. This is how y'all ladies got these men now. So he's saying that men are mentally beat down because the conversation surrounds us just being providers and nothing about us being loved and nothing about feelings.
So I was not talking about his whole comments, because he just put that last one up there, and Kareem.
I was talking about the whole of his comments. They're not accurate. I'll speak for myself. I stated that a woman has to want me, has to desire me, has to appreciate me, has to respect me, and allow me to be myself unapologetically, and that will produce love. It's a sub-consequence. It's a byproduct. We spoke about the woman appreciating the man. We spoke about building together. So we actually spoke about all the things he said we did not. We spoke about how a union can be beautiful when they build together instead of them both trying to conquer each other. We spoke about, instead of butting heads, hey, let's get it together and let's vet this woman correctly so you're picking a good woman. So I I don't necessarily think that they're factual to the conversation we had. They're definitely a part of his truth. But in the conversation, all four of us have been speaking towards that there is an opportunity for love out here, and that a man has to be accountable to put himself in position to receive that love.
So I don't disagree with Kareem. Women have ruined a lot of good men. It's obvious and sad. I don't disagree with that. What I will add to that is men and the lack of presence of men have ruined a lot of good potential boys that would become men. And it's obvious and sad. And that was my point when he said, this is the state of men today. This Elevating Men started with the mental health of men. And we started it, you started it, Andrew, because of your own pain from your connection with the men in your life. Okay, so that's what we are passing down. And if we don't listen to that statement, we will actually miss the point of what we are going to pass down to the next generation. Men, not women, men, not women, men.
Until I became accountable for myself, I used to, and it was a fact. My mom was so hard and so cold towards me and loved my brothers that I didn't experience love growing up from a woman. But I got to a certain point that I said, you know what? I'm accountable for me now. It's not about what the world didn't do or how women have treated me. I said, I refuse to go on being who I am right now. And I didn't like who I was. So I did the work. It took years. And I learned how to be a better person. And now I guard this person that I am. That's the reason why I told them women, like, I can't allow you to get me out of character or allow to get me to a point that I undo all the work I've done. No, so although there's some women that have damaged men, it is your responsibility to heal. It is your responsibility to become whole again.
That is true. Listen, this has been a good conversation. For those of you that have been rocking with us all evening, we appreciate you. Man, we're probably gonna have to have this conversation again soon. I don't know, but Coach G, you had dropped off there for a second, so until you dropped a comment, I want to give you some chance, an opportunity to expound on it. You said focus on the stability of the relationship. 2, commit to a relationship that has the capacity to go deep. 3, be with someone who can optimize your resources. 4, be with someone you can achieve contentment with. 5, be with someone you can build legacy with. Bro, that's the mic drop. But give us a little context, man. Let's close it out.
No, that's it, bro. Just read it as it says. Those are my points that I would give. Those are the points I gave my sons. Be in a relationship that's stable, that, when you are in chaos, that woman brings you so much peace that she settles you down and you do the same for her. Be in a relationship that has the capacity to go deep, that you can love deeper than you've ever loved before. You can feel deeper than you've ever felt before. You can experience life in a way you've never experienced before. Be with someone that optimizes your resources, someone that's always adding and helping you build, not someone who is tearing down and pulling away. You take 10 steps forward, she pulls you back 5. So you're always behind. Be with someone that you can achieve contentment with. You're just happy. You sit in a space of peace because they're with you. You just look across the room and, that's your settle. That's your settle, because everything you've ever needed, desired, or wanted is like right there. And then number 5, be with someone that you can build legacy with. It's not just about us today. It's always about building towards the future.
Gary, if I could, and I'm not trying to, those were great things, but you said if you're in so much chaos and she brings you peace, what I would hope is that if I'm in so much chaos, I'm not going to get in a relationship.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying there, bro, is let's say I have a horrible day at work and I come home raging, or I get in a big fight with my brother, and I'm trying to, throw stuff around the house. Just her coming and sitting next to me brings peace and throws all that out.
Love it. Asa said, good dialogue and discussion, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. And we're going to close this out. Last comment. God ordains marriage. He knows it's not good for man to be alone. He will inspire a suitable spouse that will evolve with her husband for every season of his life. She will be equipped to grow with him. Marcus, you threw your head back. Man, now you got me curious. I'm trying to close the show, man. You got to stop with all the expressions, bro. What came to mind for you?
God ordains marriage, but he walked all over Joseph's rights in marriage when he impregnated Mary, because God is sovereign. God is above right or wrong, good or evil. Your feeble understanding of, well, God ordains marriage. Yes, God did ordain marriage. God did say it's not good for man to be alone. But still, no one in the Bible married for love. And God has placed this in an order to where this is our responsibility. This is our accountability. There's more scriptures to support you being with an unbeliever or to support you being single than there are scriptures that actually support that, oh, these two people loved each other and so they got together. That never happened.
Does the world not evolve?
Nope.
That's the truth. The truth is that the Bible was written at that time period in that culture, and God could have did it any time period, but that's where he chose. And we have to accept that it's not the fairy tale of the gospel that's been handed down from our big mamas and our pastors and stuff, but it's the factual truth of the gospel. And then we have to say, how does it apply? How is it applicable to today's time?
Yeah, because I mean, you know, you were going and working for her father, you know, and tending to cattle or whatever to get her hand in marriage. We ain't in the Bible no more. But that's just my take. That's just my take. Asa, he said contentment is the key. It's never going to be perfect. Situations, money, looks, etc. will change, but the core of who you are and why both of you got together is important. Which also, if we go to the Bible, it said that you ain't supposed to get divorced, which means if you get on a ship, you got married. That means if the ship decides to turn direction because the man is steering it, you can't get off the ship.
AL, we're gonna start these classes pretty soon, bro. Because
I'm just saying, bro.
There's scriptures to support divorce. There's also scriptures to support it, even to the point where it says if you take in a bondsmaid and she is unpleasing to you, that you are to release her. Here's the kicker: you can't resell her. Whatever you spent on her to get her is null and void. She's set free now. She's her own person.
Marcus, you jump to the other side of the broom. I'm talking about the woman who hops on the ship and is going, and now he says, you know what? We're about to go the other way. She can't jump off. Where's that in the Bible?
Yeah. 100%, bro. You're right. Nowhere in there does it say that she can, because in biblical times, women had no rights.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. We keep referring back to the Bible. I'm not saying oh my goodness. Listen, y'all, keep the commentary going. I'm gonna hop in the comment section. We're gonna keep the conversation going, but we're gonna get off the screen. Make sure that you put it on your calendar for next week, Monday night, 8 p.m. We do this every week. We have great conversations, and it's all about moving our community forward, because at the end of the day, the relationship between man and woman and children that are created, that's what a family is. That's what our community is. And until we get this right between us, we're always going to have issues. We're always going to be battling, and we want to get past it. That's one of the big things we want to do with Elevating Men. Our motto is strong men build strong families, and strong families build strong communities. That's what we're all about, men's mental health. And so make sure that you tune in next week, Monday, 8 p.m., same time, same place. And don't forget, go to YouTube and subscribe so you don't miss any other updates. We appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good night.